don't know. You know, when I say, hey, we really don't know what time is. We can measure it. We have a kind of a vague idea what it is. Like you're going from here to here. But Einstein's theories have been proven correctly. So space and time are intermingled. So technically, if you want to get technical, our existence has already happened. It's just on the other side of a galaxy. And we're
Wait. How's that?
Well, according to Einstein, space and time are intermingled. So when you hear about that whole like bending of space and stuff.
Yeah.
So let's say you go out like a zillion miles on your galaxy this way, and you know that time dilation effect. You're like, it'll seem like 20 minutes to you, but 1,000 years have passed.
Yeah.
Because you're far away, the time on your planet is still going.
Yeah, but the idea is that this is already here, and you're just moving back and forth on different parts of the line. So if you want to take that further, your existence has already happened. Like, here's you born, here's us right now eating pizza. 50 or 60 years from, hopefully 50 or 60 years from now, oh man, I'm ready to die.
Yeah, that's right. That's 100 years old.
Yeah, man, 150 years. Thank you, gene splicing. But but the idea is that because space and time are continually hooked up, that in a way everything has already happened. Okay, every potential thing has happened. Because one of the problems with time is that we only see X like a small amount, and from our viewpoint, it's going from A to B, and that's it.
I know that the scientists are talking about how, I saw this on TV, that there may be wormholes in space where it takes you from one place to another, but the weird part of it is some of them may take you 10 years in the past, 10 years in the future.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, and then if you went back the other way, you go the opposite. So you could go back in time to this other planet, and then go back through, and then you could be back in the future where you were.
Well, they did there's a little study, and remember, no, you weren't at the Cherokee's Christmas party, but we did a little thing. They had been doing research with people to see that if your future self affects your past, and they would have 3 students, and then they would take the person that they wanted to do the best on the test to study the material. They didn't study the material, they just took the test. But the person who studied the material after the test did better.
That's weird.
And anyways, as a joke, Cherokee's at Christmas time, we were like, well, let's think of a word or something.
I should burn a knife up here.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah,
don't mind my big old handprint.
Yeah, mine too.
But we did a little gag or game at Cherokee's Christmas party, and I said, okay, each of you guys think of a word, write it down, and something will happen in the first week. And I think I forgot what Casey did, but something happened to him. My word was dice, and I thought of gaming dice. And for a couple of days, I kept looking for like a dice reference, nothing. I was like, well, that's okay. I guess it didn't happen. So anyways, a friend of mine emailed me and said, dude, you need to check out this conspiracy video. It's pretty crazy. I'm like, okay, so I was watching it. Then it got to the end. The name of the filmmaker is Mark Dice. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's weird. So,
man.
So maybe your future self is affecting your past. So if you meet somebody and you don't like it, Todd Burrows, no, I'm kidding.
Burrows.
I've had weird little things happen, and then in the future, it almost seems like, I don't want to say it's like fate, but it seems like there's some weird things that have happened that are very difficult to articulate. You know what I mean? Like, well, I don't know. Just very weird circumstantial things that make you kind of think. Like, sort of what you're saying with the dice thing.
I hope I'm not jinxing myself going back to Versailles, but I'll talk about UFOs, because I always jinx myself, but it's like when you look at UFOs, the closer you get to the stuff, the weirder it gets. Because when you think of UFOs, you think of like spacecraft and aliens and stuff. But if you get closer and look closer at it and these old cryptid stuff, there's definitely some weird things going on. Like the one thing John Keel said, is it happens in patterns. Every 9 years, like there's like crazy UFOs, and he's like, that's weird. And the other thing is every 24th of every month there's unexplained disappearances.
Huh.
They don't know why.
Oh yeah, there are lots of people missing. I saw some documentary and they were talking about all these people.
Usually
They go
national
missing.
park,
Yeah, and it's weird circumstances. Like a whole family goes hiking,
and it's gone. Yeah,
and then you never really hear about it because it's only the local paper that reports it.
yeah, and there's
And
it's amazing. They can tell you what your emails, what you're reading and stuff. But if you ask like the federal government, like how many people have disappeared in your national?
Yeah.
I don't. You got me. I don't. So there's
yeah,
something
it's weird.
something weird. So yeah, when people are like, "Hey, let's go hiking," I'll stick in the woods. I'll stick in the city, man. I don't. There's something. There's some weird things out in the woods that probably we don't know about, and
It's like we think we have everything charted.
yeah, I mean, but evidently, yeah. If you get one of the weird patterns Keel noticed is that every 24th day of every month, some weird disappearances will happen. It's not the 24th. Okay, so okay.
Did you hear about the experiments that Robert A. Heinlein, and that his name that did Starship Troopers?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Robert A. or Robert?
I
Robert
think
Heinlein.
Heinlein, yeah.
Okay.
And he was into weird stuff. I remember hearing about that.
This wasn't his experiment, but he said that there was an experiment with worms. They figured out that worms don't have like a brain, a detectable brain as we know it, but they put worms in a maze, and it would take a worm because they would scent the maze or something, and put a scent down for it to. It would take it so many wrong turns, and it would finally go and get the right way right. Well, they let a worm. They had chopped up another worm that made it through the labyrinth already, and fed it to that worm, and that worm went straight through. And that's what the big the brain bug that has the protruding piece that punctures your skull and eats your brain, and so it takes your intelligence. That's what Robert Heinlein
Based it on?
because they would feed worms to other worms, and those worms, even though there's no detectable brain in an earthworm, so they don't know exactly what it has possibly a nervous system. But anyway, the worms that were
freaky.
The worms that were fed the other worm, and this is long ago because Heinlein wrote that Starship Troopers when
Fifth Eastward.
19, yeah. The worms that were fed the other worms that had already made it through the labyrinth just went straight through it.